Hi, this is Jackie, and I'm doing the second reading. The first reading was about Sigmund Levantine coming out of the apartment, headed over to the office, and then he ended up at the bar. And this is after he found out that the person he is so in love with, the blonde Mara Lewis, is hooking up with another guy from a columnist, and he was very, very jealous, and he couldn't sleep. He was just mortified that Arthur Collins will come over to the office and be flirting around with Mara Lewis, like some other men does, and he is falling more in love with her. In fact, he was in the midst of quitting the company, the newspaper, in order to be able to ask her out. So this is the day he ended up at a studio in order to learn to dance, and he is about to get introduced to a woman named Melody. So this is internal dance studio day. Melody, uh, Sigmund says Z, extends a hand. Melody says, "My pleasure to meet you, Melody Alcatraz." So Sigmund says, "I'll do anything you ask me to. I'm just not much of a dancer." So Melody says, "Fair enough. All right, everybody, gather around. This is the dance 101, and we shall begin. Step 1, 2, 3. And gentlemen, I've been doing this for the last 8 years. We will sway, no play." So that's kind of her line. The older men and Sigmund followed Melody's lead. Sigmund by far looks the most uncoordinated and blinked so much. Okay. So Melody turns around, trying not to laugh, while Chelsea looks on from afar. So right across is Chelsea, and Melody is sort of like turned around, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." So the girls got home. Internal bedroom night. The two women flopped on their beds, laughing. And Chelsea goes, "I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. That was brutal." And then Melody goes, "I had to slow down the music so he can catch up next to Herbert and Calvin." Chelsea, "What is up with that hair? He must have been drinking. Look." And shows off the flakes on her black dance top. Chelsea, "I'm so sorry." "Hand me the beer, Michelle." And takes off her black shirt, leaving her sports bra showing a round scar on her left shoulder with disheveled ponytail. So let's take this off. Okay, so she had this disheveled ponytail, and the way I pictured, there was a woman my music teacher introduced to me, and I'm just kind of like, wow, she looks so much like how this woman is gonna look like. And her name is Olivia Grace Applegate. A very beautiful woman. It is just too odd for me to have seen her face because it was almost a match to what I was thinking of. And this woman also plays a musical instrument. So the story of Melody is that she doesn't just dance. She is actually let's fix the hair a bit. She actually oh, look at that. I've got blonde hair now. Oh, let's put that back there. So anyhow, Melody Alcatraz is a dance teacher who's working with Chelsea Schumann, and they've been close friends since the time they were young. And they basically moved to New York in order to fulfill their dreams as artists. But they had a background in being a soldier about 8 years ago. So, 8 years ago, they were back in Israel as soldiers, and then they moved to New York wanting to become dancers and musicians. So, the story goes so Melody has a scar on her left shoulder. So like, oh, such, and that's shown by the camera, and she's got the shower ponytail, what women usually look like when they come home, taking off their, garment from the time they were dancing, and all of this stuff is pretty much showing in my head as I was writing about it. Oh,